3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back. Here is podcast Ist echt nicht einfach, and as you heard already, this one is a special edition. It's the English edition. A long time we didn't had an English speaking episode, but finally now there is one again. So neither you understand English or you go just to YouTube, because there you can push on the subtitle for German and then you can read the subtitles in German and still enjoy this episode, because it's going to be really special. We have a really interesting guest. Liza van Brakel is here. She has a new show called Juggling, a cooperation with Hippana Maleta. All the greetings there going out to Jonas and the company. And still, she's having a really interesting juggling style, combining acrobatics, dance, and I would say most of the time juggling clubs and juggling balls. So stay tuned. We start in the new episode. Let's go. So, hello and welcome back, everyone. My name is Daan. If you listen to the first time to this podcast, I talk here with artists about their work, about their passion, and why they became artists. And so today I have the great pleasure to announce Liza, as I told you in the introduction. Hello, Liza.
Hello.
It's so great that you could make it to the podcast.
Yes, very nice that you invited me to come here.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. Because the reason I invited you, it was really easy, because I saw the premiere of Inside the Juggling. You played at, I think the place is called Studio Bühne at that time.
Bühne, yeah.
Now you are back after some short break.
Yes.
Playing now in February in Cologne, and also I think in Potsdam and in Leverkusen.
In Leverkusen, yeah.
Yes, so
yes.
5
shows, I think. Six shows. Yes.
And now we are really like in the middle, because you played 2 days ago, yes, yesterday,
and tonight.
And tonight will be like the last show in Cologne. So how went it yesterday?
Yesterday was the middle show, so it was a middle show. So, but it was not bad, but I didn't feel like the first show on Thursday. But tonight we have a third one, so that one is going to be like the fire one.
Yeah,
yes.
The grande finale.
Yes.
In
but yesterday Jonas came to watch, the director.
Yes.
So it was an extra, I don't know, I wanted to do it extra good, and then I think if you do it extra good,
oh yeah,
then it will be extra bad.
I had this in the summer with the runners.
Yeah.
And Ute was coming. Ute is the management.
Yes.
And I was so nervous, because
of course.
Ute is there, and it just was.
Even though you know that it doesn't matter, they love you anyway, but you want to do it good.
Exactly,
yeah.
And I did exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
It was really the drop show.
Really?
It was so hard.
Oh no!
I had a second chance the day after.
And it was better.
And it was better.
But Ute was not there.
Yeah, she was
there. Okay, good.
At least.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So if you want to find something out about Jonas, dear audience, he's in episode 71. So 71 podcast is echt nicht einfach. You can listen to the director of Inside Juggling, Jonas Schiffauer. So this show combines not only juggling, performing, dancing, but also a lot of technique, camera, video and live projection.
Yes.
So I can imagine in the time when you rehearsed the piece and you worked on it and did your research, it was always like a mix between how physical, how much body is involved and training in this one, and how much just technical solutions, solving problems. How was the balance between those?
I mean, in the first half year was mainly problem solving, I think. It was a lot of research about that. But then we had the really good technician, Timo. Shout out naar Timo. Because he is really, he's solving all the problems. Without Timo, we would not have Inside Juggling. So, but in the beginning, we started to work with phones, not with the camera. So actually, we did the first half of the research, I think we did with the phone and a selfie stick. And then we realized more and more that the connection between the phone and the sender in the theaters don't work. So we always would be cut out of the how you say, the screen would go off and the connection would be gone.
Yes.
Every time. Like in the rehearsal it would not happen, but at the moment we did like a showing or something, it would always cut off. It will always happen, yeah. So we were like, okay, but this is going to happen also during the show, so we have to find a solution. Then we didn't find a solution for the phone, and then we came with the camera So Jonas found this camera, then we built a case around this camera, and then suddenly the phone went into a camera.
Yes.
Half through the research.
Which makes a huge difference.
So it's such a big difference, yeah.
In weight.
In everything.
In everything, and how it behaves.
Yes.
So if somebody, most of the people maybe didn't saw the show already, if you would describe it to someone, how would you put it in words? Because I think it's hard.
Yeah.
For me, it had something really, I was a lot of thinking about this Corona time when the people became so digital. And when it was like some sort of, I am at home, I'm alone, but still I'm in contact with a lot of people, but always through this filter of having a camera, and even also with all this trouble we had, like having like feedback sounding, or bad image, or loss of connectivity and connection.
Yeah.
But if you would describe it.
For me, Inside Juggling is a story of a juggler, a solo juggler on stage, where you also see not just the stage person, but also the more intimate side of a solo performer. So you see the backstage, you see, you see different perspectives of a juggler, not only on stage but also beside the stage, and how it works before the show and maybe after the show and during the show. You see all the different perspectives of a performer, I think, and we let you into a world where maybe normally you will not get into when you see a show. You would just see the show, but now you see also, what is she doing in the backstage?
Yes.
And also, it's a bit, we take you into in a world of different perspectives, where sometimes you don't know if it really happened, or if it was on the film, or did she record it before or not? Like, you always asking yourself, is this happening right now, or did they do this before? Yeah. So we play with perception also, and expectations also. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a visual manipulation of worlds, I would say. Yeah.
You even can see yourself as an audience at one point in the show, which I also found an interesting perspective, like to get mirrored.
Yeah, I'm happy that also the audience gets seen, because sometimes I feel like you see a lot of me.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bit refreshing that once you see all the audience, one by one, on the screen.
Were you comfortable with yourself, watching yourself on a screen before, or was it like also something you needed to adapt into this show? Because some people are really comfortable with like putting on their selfie stick and talking to the camera, but for me also, like, the first time talking into a camera is quite intimidating.
It is,
even if it's so close.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
It was a learning process. Yeah, it was not that the first time I felt really comfortable. Nay, but you grow into it. Like, it was not that directly I was seen on screen and everybody was seeing me. Like, it was just in rehearsals. Yeah. So it was step by step going into this into this world of seeing myself on a big screen. Now it became normal, but it is weird. But in the show, I never really watch myself. It's so I'm with me and the audience, and the audience sees me very big sometimes, but I'm not busy with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have time to overthink it.
Exactly. And of course, sometimes you do, but sometimes like, how would the people see me now? Am I looking too serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, because often people tell, like, I always think that I look like my resting face can be very serious, and I'm people always sometimes say that, like, why do you look so serious? And I'm like, yeah, that's just I don't know. That's my resting. Yeah, that's maybe serious. So that sometimes goes in my head, like, oh, do I not look too serious now? Because I am not, like, I am focused, but it's not that I'm serious.
Yeah. Or angry or something.
Or angry, yeah.
I think that as I saw the show, I saw the premiere. The moments when we see you really close, and we have a close up of your face, or maybe also not only part time, maybe it's also really close to the eye, something like that. It remember me like a bit like acting for film, for movies. The less you do, the more I can project into you. So I've found it really, it fitted the moment, you know, because it's everything like in the piece is like always like a back and forth audience to performer to audience.
Yeah.
And in this moment it had the same, because if you like did too much, then you would just already shift me in a direction to think, and without doing anything, I can just like project. And if there are people that are projecting that you are serious, maybe they are too serious.
Yeah. Maybe.
Could be.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
And we don't see really a cameraman on stage, because the camera is on a stick. It's like a selfie stick, but a little bit bigger now, as you told us. A little bit more heavy as well. How heavy is the camera?
I don't know, but there's this balance scene in the beginning that I balance for like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. I balance the camera on different places on my body without stopping. And with the phone, this was way lighter. And then suddenly I had to practice it with this big camera that is like, I don't know how many kilos, but it's heavy. And I felt it on my body, My leg would be really tired, and I felt it, that it was heavier. But now I got used to it. But in the beginning I was like, Jonas, I'm not sure if I can, make it. Like, it's really heavier. But then you practice and then you find out you can do it. So it's also a nice win, When you think first you cannot do it, and then you can,
You went to the Kodas, the circus school in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And you finished there 2017, you told me?
Yes,
at the beginning?
2017.
2017. And you are like known also in the circus community for your acrobatic dance-based juggling style, which you developed. Could you just tell me how you came into this world, first of all, circus world? When did it kick to you? And then why juggling?
Why juggling? That's a really good question.
It's always a good question.
I mean, first of all,
but the answer is
maybe
always
funny
different.
to say
it's quite funny.
that I never wanted to be a juggler. Like, that was kind of like the last thing on my list that I wanted to be, and now I became a juggler. But I'm very happy now to be a juggler, of course. But it was never my intention or plan inside the circus. But I was like maybe 8 or 9. I was doing like a lot of different sports when I was young. Like, I went to football, tennis, ping pong, swimming. Like, I liked a lot of different sports, and I could not really choose which one I liked and which one I want to do. And of course, I cannot do all of them. And then there was circus. I went to a youth circus, and there I didn't have to choose if I wanted to do trapeze or juggling or floor acrobatics. Like, you could do everything. And so for me, it was like, whoa, this is my place. I don't need to choose. I can do everything. Music, theater, everything comes together in one. And also I felt really at home with the people. Like, in football, I didn't feel really home because I was in a guys team. They put me in the goal. And I don't know, didn't feel very welcome. And in circus directly, I felt like, this is the place.
That's the community.
Yes.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
A month ago, there was a German juggling female juggler here, and she said maybe like the most reason was the community.
But it's really true, yeah. And I think also with the group you work on like circus is like a lot of like find your borders and going, how do you say?
Over your limit, or like...
Yeah, looking for...
Stretching on the limits.
Yeah, stretching on the limits. And I think taking risks, you have to trust each other. There's so many facets in circus that I think as a person or as a kid, you can grow very much into that, especially when you're in such a welcoming group.
Yeah, you need to like to trust. Like acrobatics is all about trusting each other. It's a lot about communication.
Yeah, communication, but not verbal. Like sometimes verbal, but also non-verbal communication. So there's both, and there's many things that I think is super important to grow up as a kid.
Like being aware what happens around you, like this periphery view.
And also to say, okay, here and not further. Like also you have to say, okay, these are my boundaries. You learn that already in circus because you need to, because otherwise you will maybe fall or that's what I really, really appreciate about when I was young and do youth circus, that I got all these little things. And the best part was all my friends that I got there. Yeah, that was like, I only wanted to go to circus.
So how you ended up to become a juggler?
That's a good question also. Then I went, like in youth circus you do everything. So I also did juggling, but mainly like the basic juggling with rings, with everything, but basics. And I really like to pass.
Like basic patterns.
Basic patterns.
Without
like
a lot of movement.
Yeah, just the basic juggling patterns. And
passing.
Sharing with people, passing. And then I was like 17 and then graduating from high school. And I was doing the pre-education in code arts. So every Saturday you go to Rotterdam. I did like you do 1 day of like pre-education for the school.
And for how long?
Like for 2 years I did that. From when I think I was 16 till 17. And then you already get a bit of an idea of how it is to be in a circus school. And you get trained like in a circus school. But it was not really my plan, like I want to become a circus artist. I just really felt at home. So I thought, okay, I try to get into a circus school because I also didn't know anything else that I would want to do. So I just thought, okay, let's go first for the thing that I feel the most comfortable with and I like the most, and it's circus. Let's go to a circus school. And then I see what happens. Like that's always what I always see what happens. I never have like a plan of how my life would go. So I go with the thing that in this moment is like the most...
you follow it, what drives you, whatever drives you.
Exactly, yeah.
Which seems interesting. And maybe also where you feel comfortable.
Yeah. And,
Not also like being, feeling safe somewhere in a spot.
But at the same time, I mean, it's safe, but also you get put out of your comfort zone constantly.
Exactly.
So, but then you can come back again to the safe spot.
Yeah.
So then I went to do audition, then I went into the circus school. But at this time, you didn't need a specialization yet when I did audition. So I went into school I did the floor acrobatics act with a friend of mine. It was really not good, like really not. But I got taken and then I went into the first year. And in the first year, you do everything. When I was in school, now it's not anymore like that. So I choose Chinese pole, teeterboard, I think, floor acrobatics. These things I tried out. Yeah. And then in the second year, you had to choose more. So then I choose floor acrobat, like acro dance and trampoline and handstands. I think that's my specializations, what I did, and a bit of teeterboard. And then at the end of the second year, actually the director came to me in school and he was telling me like, hey, Lisa, we need to talk because, I mean, you're not doing bad, but also no, you're not doing good. Like, he kind of wanted to put me in a place of like, think about what you want to do. Because it was true. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just, in school and doing the things that they teach me. But I didn't feel like I had one thing that was really mine. So then over summer, from the second to the third year, I was thinking, okay, what I am gonna do? I have to come with something. Because I did then floor acrobatics, but I felt very empty always on stage. Me alone with like acro dance was not like I didn't feel really like very creative. And then during summer, I thought, what if I do something with an object? Because I always liked juggling. And because I felt empty, I thought, okay, what if I just add an object to what I do? So then I came to school in the third year, and in the first week, I did 1 week of just research with one object. And I chose a club because I was always passing, but I never imagined myself as like a solo juggler. Never. Really, it was not never came up in my head. Funny but then in this 1 week, I just spent hours with one club and the acro. And like, for me, a whole world opened. And I was like, whoa, I can do something that other people don't do. And I felt really like, for the first time, I felt creative. Yeah, in this 1 week, yeah. So then I was like, maybe this is my thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then for a whole year, I just did one object, so just one club. And my teacher was all the time like, where's the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth? And I was not really interested in that. Also, the change from floor acrobatics to juggling, from like suddenly I came into a juggling class.
Yes.
I never was in a juggling class. And in the acrobatic class, it's very like you are there together, and you do acro. Then I came to the juggling class, and everybody was like standing alone in the corner, doing their patterns, and I was like, oh my god, where am I? Yeah, it was really a big change, and I had to come with a trick list. Because my teacher Gregor, he told me, we work with a trick list, so you come with a trick list, and then we work on these tricks. But I had no idea about tricks. Like I just did like moves or sequence, or suddenly I had to write tricks. So it was really a different world for me. Yeah.
So would you say that you are like now you are like a 100% juggler, or would you still say like I'm more like a movement artist, object manipulation?
I would say object manipulator.
Yeah, I think it's quite nice
to
describe it. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't always see myself as a juggler. Yeah. If I'm on a juggling convention or something, I sometimes have a difficult time to be there, or like I have to really get myself into that. Yeah. It's not that I am like most jugglers look forward all year to a convention. I like to be there, but it's not my
the passion around this.
And I can see if I'm there, I like it.
Yeah.
But it's not the thing for me. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found it quite nice on your homepage. It says you are a circusmaker. I like the framing and the wording on this one, because it's like just making circus and whatever.
And I take whatever I like.
Is a piece about I just use. Yeah.
But the juggling really gave me a lot. Like without the juggling, I would have not been a circus maker or circus artist. Yeah.
And then even still, you don't felt too much on being a patterns juggler, as I hear it out.
Yeah.
You end up with Gandini.
Yeah. That's also...
Okay, you told me that you enjoyed passing. This fits again.
Yeah.
But like not liking patterns to juggle and then coming with Gandini is quite special. But you say you played in Agnaten, which is an opera.
Yeah.
Played in New York at the Math Theater.
Yes.
That must be an amazing experience now.
Yeah, that was really like a dream. Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes I feel like it was like a movie that just happened, and then...
When was that? 2019? 2020?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah, just before COVID happened. Yeah, we were like 5 months in New York, and it was
So how they found you? How did you found
like
Sean?
First they found
each other?
I went to a workshop audition from Gandini. So Gandini is actually really not my style of juggling, but I really appreciate what they do, and I can also really appreciate all the difficulties of juggling and all the nerdy stuff around juggling. I love, of course. It's just not totally my thing, but I love it. Then I went to this audition workshop I didn't go there with the intention of like I want to work with them, but more of like a workshop, and I learned something.
I picked maybe something up.
Yeah. And it's good to get out in the juggling world, maybe, because I just graduated. I did 1 year of 3 clubs. That was it. I didn't have any technique. I just had my technique. Yeah. Not really the basic juggling technique. Then I went to this workshop. It was really nice. It was 3 days. I think it was in London. And I learned so much, like in 3 days. Like, that's the thing. I can learn really quick. And I think they also saw that. And they did they were planning making a show with modern dancers, contemporary dancers.
Now I see
Now
I see that makes completely sense, because they are also like specialized on moving.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not only your upper body, but also your legs.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but in this audition, I remember I was besides Oni, all jugglers that are crazy technical, and not just technical, also
movement artists.
Yeah. So I was really amazed by the skills of everybody, and every time like you have to show something, I was always the first one that dropped out, because always you add a clap or you add a ring, and then it was like people continue, and I was always the one that then no, I cannot do this. I go out. I cannot do this. But for me, it was fine because I wasn't planning of.
Was your goal to?
No,
to
it wasn't my
become a part
goal.
of the company.
No, not at all. And I think that's why I was just so relaxed there. I think that's also what helped me. And then they asked me if I wanted to become part of the new show Spring at that time, in 2017. And then I was like, yeah. I was a bit nervous because I was like, I'm not so sure if they know me that good. Like, do they know that I actually cannot juggle how they juggle, you know? So that made me a bit afraid to say yes. But then I was like, also in this, like when I said it to friends of mine, like at the moment I was having a juggling boyfriend also, that is professionally juggler. He was laughing when he heard that they asked me to join them. He was like, "But you and Gandini, like how does that happen?" Yeah. But then I was like, "Yeah, why not? Let's do it." And then I went into this creation, and for me it was like there I learned to juggle. So because of Gandini, I learned more technique and that was my way to learn it. Also with other people in a room. I don't like to juggle alone necessarily, and especially not the patterns and stuff like that. So for me, it was like a long paid workshop, and I'm very grateful that I got this opportunity to work with them because I got so much out of it. Yeah, also to juggle on rhythm, on counts. I did these things I never did. Yeah,
they are counting a lot. Yeah,
they're counting a lot. I sweated a lot. I had so many headaches. I remember like the first residency, and we had to count things in the night.
Your brain,
brain was
still counting.
Still counting, and I had headaches, but it was all worth it because I had a really great time and really fun to experience something that you would normally not do. Yeah.
And then suddenly you end up in New York playing opera.
Where also everything is on the count. But then I learned it already. But I kept learning always with them. It was for me really a big learning.
How many shows did you play with them then?
In the Met?
Yes.
I think we 12 or something.
Oh yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, because opera singers need like 3 days in between to rest between shows. Yeah, they need to rest their voice. So you do one show and then you have two days or 3 days off, and then they cannot do 2 days after each other.
I never heard that before. Interesting.
Yeah. So we had a lot of time.
12 shows will be like times 3, so you're like a month.
Yeah, we did like 1.5 months of shows, but it was just 8 or 10 or 12 shows. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How long does the show goes? It was like a long show?
It was 3 hours.
3 hours long.
Yeah, it was a long show, yeah.
And you were like always on stage, or?
We were a lot, yeah. We were a lot on stage, yeah.
So it's like also like a hard focus.
Yes.
Really like keeping a focus like for a long time.
Yes. It was a long...
Still, you are already ready before, but then on stage 3 hours, this is quite a long time.
It's quite a lot, yeah. And also everything is on the count and all together. So if you're...
How many people are involved?
I think we were 12 jugglers.
But
then there was, I think the main opera singers were 8. And then there was a choir.
Yeah.
So we were a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice... it was my first experience with opera. And normally people always have this idea of opera that is like, not boring, but it's like...
Old-fashioned.
But I love opera now because of that experience. Yeah.
I think the opera should just open itself a little bit more for younger audience.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, It's often I just can say like here in Germany, it's like often a bit expensive.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah.
And it takes also like a lot of the people who go there are more like elderly or wealthy people. And this for young people, they just are like, I think I don't fit inside there.
You don't feel so invited for young people, But it's a pity because it's really beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they once get invited, then maybe they're...
Yeah. Should be more opportunities like that. Talking about opportunities, I was in the Netherlands now with runners. We played in Vegel and in...
Veghel.
Sorry, my Dutch is really bad. And in Amsterdam, on a weekend, it's called the Theater Weekend, International Theater Weekend, and all the theaters and all the shows all cost just like around 7 to 10 euros.
Yeah,
so everyone can accessible. It's such a great idea because this makes like that you always maybe also are a little bit more exploring. Okay, I don't know if opera is mine, but like for $7 on this weekend, let's go.
Yeah, of course,
just,
it makes the step less high.
I thought it was a really, really good idea as a concept to get people more, young people more like into art. But it's a different topic about how art should be like more
accessible. But I think circus is doing very good in that.
In the last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think is that so?
Why circus is so accessible?
Or more accessible than I would say like now classical theater.
I mean, I think because when circus started, like the traditional circus, the circus came to you.
Yeah.
Instead of you have to come to the circus came right to you in your village. So
it was always like that, you would say. It was always like more inclusive.
They don't want you to come there, but they come to you.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's already very inviting, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. But today, it's either the exception that the circus comes to you. So
yeah. But I think it's kept that for a long time. Maybe this image of like the circus is here for you.
Yes, I think that circus also managed it to become like more like a youth sports in this this corner, like hip hop dance, parkour, all this stuff which looks like really cool, and you can do it a little bit cooler as a sport in some kind of way or visual. Yeah. Just like people doing parkour, flick flags, and all this stuff. So this acrobatic stuff, and then also juggling became more and more over the years. Also with like cool videos on the internet to share. So it's just like more into, I think it's a little bit more into this, I call this like the book of cool. Like stuff where just have like a...
But still also people think circus is stupid.
Yeah.
Like there's this both ways, or it's cool, or it's like the red nose and the clowns.
Yeah, but that's because you don't have that much experience in this room.
Yeah,
but still you have your old mindsets and think about still. You were doing circus, with elephants and everything. Yeah. So a clown. So are you sleeping in a van?
Yeah.
All this quite it's normal. But that's why we are here with the podcast, to just like show the people that circus can be cool.
Circus is
and something different.
Super cool,
And you don't need to sleep in a van if you have a bike.
Exactly.
Which brings us to a show called, is it a show or is it more like a concept? It's called Galop.
Yeah, it's like a show and concept in one, a tour. I would say it's a tour. Yeah.
So in the summer you are on your bike.
Yes.
And you are doing exactly that. You are going to the people.
Exactly, yes. Because for a long time I worked with Faraway in Switzerland. And we also travel with tent and caravans.
So you build up a tent every time.
Yes, we build up a tent. So it's like the traveling is in the traditional way, but the show is contemporary. Yeah. And then I thought I really like this aspect of circus, the moving around, to go to the place, to go to the people, make your spot, make the tent. And then I thought, how can I do this in my way, also a more sustainable way, because it's not very sustainable with all the trucks and the caravans and the tent and
if you think about environment and
pollution. And also I don't have a driving license anyway, so like that already is not it's not for me. And also I don't really like cars, and I really like biking. I mean, I'm from the Netherlands, so
the cliches.
It's very cliches true. Then I thought, well, how can I not do it on the bike? Like, I don't need anything actually. So then I started with the idea of what can I do with my bike. So the show is also with the bike, and the tour is also with the bike. So I bike from festival to festival with all the stuff, and I play with the bike. Yeah, that's the concept.
The bike is a part of the show?
Yeah.
Because you're doing acrobatics on bikes? Or tricking? No?
I manipulate the bike, I would say. Like, I use all the skills I have with manipulating objects. I do this with the bike. Yeah. So I use like the wheel, I take the bike apart, I use the helmet, I use the water bottle, I use shoes, I use everything that I have around me, I use for the show. Yeah.
Everything is a prop.
Everything is a prop, but that's always in my life. Everything is a prop. I mean, for every juggler, I think everything is a prop. We look at something and we think, what can we do with this?
There is some particular way jugglers look at objects. That's right. Yeah. So then you're performing more like on the street. It's more like a street show, or is it?
Yeah, it's a street show. Yeah.
So you do it only in the Netherlands, or do you travel
Like for
to
now, I
Belgium?
just did the Netherlands, but next summer I probably also go outside of the Netherlands. But that means I have to bike longer.
Yeah.
What means that if I have to perform somewhere, I don't know, for example, in Germany, it can be that I have to take 7 days to bike there. Yeah. But that's part of the project.
It's part of the idea as well.
That's part of the idea, yeah.
Yeah.
And also another big part of this project is to get people more on the bike. To motivate people to bike more. Also, people could join me in the summer to bike with me. And actually, I've never biked alone.
That's
Maybe
nice.
2 days of the whole summer I biked alone.
Wow.
Yeah, there was
So
always
you're
people.
just sharing it on social media where you are,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah.
and
People
when you
could
drive-
follow me,
Uh-huh.
and also a lot of friends, but also old friends that I haven't seen for like 5 years. They were
that's
like,
nice.
"Oh, can I join?" And then you join. They joined, and it was like, you meet again. So I made old friends. I met new friends, and also strangers. They biked with me. Yeah, it was really
Great.
yeah.
Is it scheduled? So is it like if you say like if I play on festivals, so it's really like scheduled, or is it like also like wild going on the street somewhere,
I mean, that was the
turning
plan.
up and it's just like doing classic street show?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean
hat.
that's the plan.
Uh-huh.
That between the festivals, I would also go into villages and then just create my piste. You say piste? My
Trip? No.
like the circle of circus.
Ah, yeah,
How do you
the
call it?
circle,
The piste. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's Dutch.
The circle. Yeah.
And then just invite people in the moment.
Yeah.
But this didn't happen last summer because I was just too busy with getting to the festival actually, and I didn't have really the space and time to go for that. But that would be the dream, to just bike around and stop wherever I feel like this is a good place to do my show. Yeah,
This sounds like a perfect idea to spend the summer.
exactly.
I think.
Yeah.
Is it a financial question to just like I can't just take more time because I have another financial backup that I don't care if I need to bike 7 days, I bike 7 days, or is it more like it's just like scheduled so tough that there is no time?
Also, I
Or
also
you schedule
underestimated.
also different projects, so you're biking, then you're rehearsing something different, and you're playing.
I mean, that's also, yes. I underestimated also the impact on the body with the biking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually you need also days off, and
Yes.
I'm very bad in scheduling days off. For me, the biking was days off.
The days off, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not. And so for next tour, I'm gonna plan much more time between. But yeah, it's not that the festivals pay you for all the days you bike.
Exactly.
I mean, in the end, there will be they pay for the kilometers you bike.
Yes.
But still, if I do it in 7 days, normally you can maybe
Do it in some hours.
with the car. So it's there's something to find still to
To keep that in balance.
not lose money, but also
Exactly.
not to lose the idea.
Maybe you need a sponsoring or something like that. A bike company or
Yes.
something, or someone who's water bottle
it's
company
true.
or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I have
Like
to get
helmets.
into that. Yeah.
Maybe just like write some emails on
Yeah.
some
No, this is a good idea.
Dutch industry people are just like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, and for every kilometer I bike with your whatever,
With your bottle, your helmet.
you just sponsor me and pay
Thank
me
you for
something
the
like
good
that.
idea.
Hey, you're welcome. Always for good ideas. I'm
Next
always-
summer I will be
always gonna-
full of sponsors.
Yeah, always like stickers, like
Yeah.
like in the 90s where the Formula One
Yeah.
guys, they just have like the brands everywhere on
Yes.
their.
I mean, that would be nice. Yeah.
Really interesting also in this aspect in your work is that there is a problem. Not a problem. There's a work you share with people who have disabilities, so inclusive circus.
Yeah.
I just will speak out it wrong. So Bouten, that's right.
Yeah.
Which means extraordinary.
Buitengewoon.
Buitengewoon.
Buitengewoon. Yeah.
All right. So
This means extraordinary. Yeah.
this is a collaboration with a company.
Yeah. This is a collaboration with the festival Circus in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And they wanted to do a more inclusive project. And because I did it before in Belgium also, I did a project, inclusive circus project. So they thought, maybe you want to do it also in Rotterdam. And actually that's, of course I want to do that. Yeah, my heart is really there also, That's circus is for me to include everybody. So for me it's already weird that in the last 10 years I didn't include everybody. So trying to do this now, But it's it's big work. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So it's like a project to build up a show.
Yeah.
With a bunch of people. How many people are we
talking?
So
last year we worked with just one person that had Down syndrome. We made
so it's really specific.
Yeah, last year. Now it's bigger. This year is bigger, but last year we started small, and we worked with Luc. He has Down syndrome, and we made me and Ivar. We made a show with him. The three of us. We did like I think it was 15 minutes act, and this project is really about giving them a voice or a stage where they can do what they want. It's not that we decide what you have to do, but it's really a collaboration between between us three. Yeah. It's not okay, you do this and that. No.
So it's more like you can decide what you want to do, and we support.
Yes.
In our best way we can.
Exactly. Yeah. But last year I think we supported him a bit too much, and we unsupported ourselves. That's what the feedback we got back, and what I think is true, that it doesn't mean that we are not allowed to show our skills.
And also being creative.
Exactly. So we were kind of more around him, busy, instead of also bringing our skills up. But I think for this year we tried to also, because it doesn't mean that what we can do, we don't have to do because maybe you cannot do it.
Yes.
No, that it's not like that.
Yeah.
And last year I think I was too busy with giving him the space to show what he can do, and and putting me a bit on the background or more supporting him. But this year we want to just have like a 50-50 collaboration.
Equal.
Yeah, and if we want to show that, we show that. Yeah.
I just need don't come off my thought now about this moment when you are somewhere, maybe in a park with a bunch of people, and you're juggling just to pass time. It's summer, just have your juggling equipment there, just juggling, and somebody comes along and you just say like, you're showing off. You know what I mean? And some kids are like that also sometimes, in between each other, just showing off. Just because you can't do it,
it
doesn't mean I'm not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And why you even make a topic out of it?
Yeah.
Just go by. If you don't like it, you don't need to.
Yeah, they're just maybe jealous.
Yeah, but it's interesting. This is like this is he's just showing off.
Yeah.
It's like,
what is it bad? Yeah, what's bad about showing off?
Yeah, why? Just because you can't do it. Yeah. I'm sure there are a lot of stuff you can do, I can't do.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I also don't come to you and watch on your computer and say, your Excel's are bad.
Yeah.
Show off because you know the codes on the Excel.
Yeah, it's true.
I just thought, like children sometimes behave with each other also, like in this kind of thing.
But it's funny that the people that I work, there's for me, what's so enriching about this project with the people with disabilities is that they don't really have sometimes a filter. They just do what they feel what to do, and this is wonderful. Like,
this is wonderful.
I have blocks sometimes, but they just go with what they feel, and I think we can learn so much from that, to just go with what we feel, with what. Yeah.
Without overthinking.
And for them it doesn't matter if there's 2 people in the audience or thousands. They will just go for it. And this I've learned so much from them. Yeah. We overthink too much, and we worry too much about what we do, and they just do. And I really love that about working with them, that I learned that from them.
Yeah, I think that Trisomia 21, Down syndrome, is especially in this case. I learned that in school as a social worker, that I found it nice to say, like, they have something more.
Yeah.
They have 3 of the 21. We only have 2.
So
they have something more. So just change the perspective.
Yeah.
Like, who's sometimes the thing is like, who's above who? Yeah. No, they have something more. Yeah. And what they exactly have is what you describe, this thrive. It's so honest, on
so
their
pure.
Emotion and pure and passion to move and dance. They love dancing. Yeah. They have a great humor. Yeah. They are really, also on an emotional level, super honest. It's an honesty which is in there. They are not showing off.
Yeah.
In no kind of
no,
way.
They're
just pure.
They're just pure, yeah.
And that's
it's
great,
really beautiful,
great,
yeah.
great,
And also they would never, if I would have pink hair, or if I would have one ear, if I would have one arm, they don't judge. It's beautiful, yeah. And it's such a relief to be around people who think that way, and the world can really learn from them instead of that they should learn from. No, we should learn from much more from them. And I find it really incredibly sad that these people don't get a stage or not a lot, maybe some, but it's not.
No, it's not happening. No, you can't compare it.
They're not part of our society.
Exactly, and also not of our cultural.
Not at all.
Society. So then you don't see them. Yeah.
No.
Why you don't see them? Because they have no platform.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah. I think the aspect is great. What you said, just shift perspective, learn from them.
Yeah.
Like you encounter everybody you can learn from everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
So why not from them and just take it? And there's some really good lessons to.
A lot of good lessons, yes.
Yeah.
And they're also not if I'm going on stage, I'm super nervous.
They're not at all.
No, they're like, Lisa, are you why are you so nervous? Come on, it's not. Yeah.
Are you always nervous before you go on stage, or is it just if something is really new, or?
I think I'm always nervous. Yeah.
When does it end?
Oof.
Does it end if you are on stage?
Sometimes, but not always.
But not always.
It can also be there's this two-phase, or I have this that I'm shaking a bit. This is the worst with juggling, and that stays on stage.
Yeah.
Or I have
that one I don't have anymore.
No? Oh, how did you get rid of it?
Being on stage.
Being on stage, okay.
We can't practice it, except for being on stage.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time. It took me years.
Yeah.
There's one piece I'm playing now for 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
And if there is a 15 minutes music before the show, which is scripted, it's part of the show, so that the audience knows, okay, now it starts to take a seat, become quiet. And if I hear the first sound of this intro, I need to pee immediately. Mm-hmm. But it's not true. I don't need really to pee, but just my body just screams still, something is
crazy,
wrong.
No?
And then with the first foot on stage, or with the first, it's everything is gone.
Wow.
But it went less and less and less over the years. Still, if something is really new, it's always. Yeah. I'm always super nervous as well.
Do you also have that you rush always when you're nervous? That you rush things on stage?
In the beginning, I did it a lot in hosting. So I start talking too fast.
Yeah.
That for sure.
Yeah.
In juggling, maybe in the beginning as well, but more in talking on stage when I was nervous, I was just rush through. What I have more is that I get this tunnel just 2 minutes before going on stage. Mm-hmm. It's just like your complete world just disappears around you. Mm-hmm. And you're only on this one focus point now, which is not really a clear thought. It's just concentration, it's now. Yeah. Just go. Now. Uh-huh. Yeah. But still, I think it helps to being nervous. This also sharpens your focus normally, and also it's enjoyable. Your body does something, and adrenaline kicks in and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a drug.
Yeah, it's like a drug. Yeah.
I like it. If I would not be nervous, I think something's wrong.
Yeah. It depends on what you do, I think, because there can also be a point where you're not nervous anymore, but then you can really enjoy every single second of it. Because sometimes if you're too nervous, you don't enjoy it yourself. Yeah. You're always overthinking, thinking on the next step, thinking next scene.
Instead of being in the moment. Yeah.
So I think there's a balance between being nervous and it. But still, we're all different. For everybody is different. And also for me, for piece to piece or for work to work is different.
Or alone on stage or with a group or... Yeah. It really depends. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're there, for aspiring artists maybe who listen to us, and especially who would also mix disciplines and to find their own language. Mm-hmm. What would you say to encourage them to developing their art or their
Good question.
Their own creativity in this.
Like, it's never too late also, because I also started very late with finding my... I mean, for circus, I think I found very late my thing. And what helped for me is to not listen to other people. Yeah. Really. If I would have listened to my teachers, or I would be juggling 5 clubs now. Yeah. And I really listened to what I wanted to do, and I followed that. So it's not always, I would not always listen to what people maybe suggest you to practice or to... And I really found it because I didn't check other things. Like, I also was not really looking at videos or other jugglers, because I was also not known in the juggling world, so I didn't know any jugglers.
Yeah, because it would be my next question, if there are some people like where we use it like, this one is inspiring, or the style is inspiring, if there were like people. But then already you had your style maybe found.
And in the moment I started juggling, there was not somebody that I knew also, because I was not into this juggling world. But of course nowadays there's a lot of jugglers I love to watch.
But to watch is one thing, but like to say like his
style
or her style is like really. I can imagine that this style would also fit me. You know, maybe not in everything, but maybe on like some sorts of. It's hard to describe, you know, but some sorts of manipulation, some sorts of using legs or using windows or using, you know. Because I saw you work with Sander. Sander de Kuiper.
No? Sander de Kuiper, yeah.
And as I read that, I just like said, there's some scissor stuff Liza is doing, which remind me a little bit also now when I read it to EAO and these
there's
bunch
some
of guys.
Maybe some similarities. I mean, there's a lot of jugglers I have similarities with, but I'm thinking now, who else? There's actually many. Like you have a guy Nathan Biggs from is he from Canada?
I think so.
I mean, we have also quite similar style, and we also juggle sometimes together, and then we see also that we have similar styles. And also Baptiste van Brakel, he was also in code arts. We have also a little bit the same style, and also almost the same last name. Yeah.
I thought it was your brother, I think.
No, people think that, but he's not my brother.
Even because your styles are
exactly.
Similar. Yeah.
And then, I mean, I really love Idris. Idris, I don't know his last name. I'm really bad with names.
Okay,
he's a club juggler that does really quick stuff that you cannot follow. I love that.
In balls and clubs?
Clubs.
Clubs also.
Yeah. But now I forget a lot of jugglers probably that I love.
We love them all.
We love them all.
Yeah,
we love
part of the
all
family.
Of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's really.
And it's like that. You also are inspired like by everything, and or sometimes also when I have like just like to see someone and I say like I really enjoy the style.
Yeah.
So I'm not copying it, but maybe in the next rehearsal, some stuff you try something out. Somewhere is there in your brain, like you're watching a movie or reading a book, and there is something.
Yeah.
It takes you learn a new movement in dance, and then maybe you. It's not a copy, but
it's somehow
it inspired you. It's somehow there, and it's also a lot of times I just see other jugglers think, "Wow, it's just great, his skill set," but it's not. I could never do it because it's not my style. I don't feel.
Yeah, but this is what I love about juggling. There's so many styles, and it's so individually personal. I am always amazed by the things that are coming out and the people do. It's like it's a never-ending world, and that's really what fascinates me with juggling. That there's always a new door. Yeah. It's crazy, endless, and that's so cool. Yeah.
In juggling, it's infinity.
It's
just like pure infinity.
Yeah.
Now I need to think. I had which part of your job you enjoy the most? Is it like the research moment where the page is empty and everything is possible because there are no rules yet? Or is it the next part, like to define the borders and the shape of the next piece and the rules? Or is it then afterwards like the performing of the product? What is your...
I think I don't think I have one favorite, but I have to say I really like to research, especially when there doesn't need to be a result. Yeah, I mean that just brings other things to the work. Yeah, that there's no stress, no deadline, or no.
It's a great freedom. That's just,
this freedom.
Just be, just do. Yeah.
This brings your creativity in another
Space.
flow, I think. Yeah. So this I like a lot, the research phase. I think I like less the things putting it together because I'm bad with choices. Yeah. So I think maybe that's my least favorite part. But then seeing it coming together, I like a lot. That then you put things together and then you do it and you're like, oh yeah, okay, it works like this. Yeah, this I like, but I would not say I am most fan of like really putting things together. And then performing, yeah, I like it, I hate it, and I like it. As both, yeah. Yeah, because of the nerves. I'm just very nervous sometimes and afraid to not do it good, I think. But then also I love it because it gives me this adrenaline that nothing else in this life gives me. So that's that I love, but I also hate it at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Normally you think that all the artists really enjoy performing on stage, but it's not the truth. I also talked to other artists who said like, I just perform because it's necessary to get money to go to the next research. Because I so much love this research phase and this like everything is free and I can be creative without an end. And others said, nah, I just want to perform. This is what I want to do. I want to be in this. So it's interesting to hear like how people just see it. And also that is completely different. Just I think that normally you always think like people who act on stage in every kind, if they are musicians or dancers or whatever, that they are really like born to be on stage and they just love to be on stage. But it's not always the fact. Sometimes it's just like it's one aspect of their work.
Of their work, yeah.
But maybe it's not their most favorite aspect of their work.
Yeah.
We are slowly coming to an end. I have one last question for you. If circus, you just like it's a little bit how we say astrophysics, yeah. If circus we could incarnate into a person, circus would be a person.
A person.
Yeah, and you can meet this person, him, her, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is circus. What would you tell him or her?
Whoa. Tell him. Well, what a question. I mean, I would thank him or her or it, whatever it is, for all the life lessons this thing has given me. Like, all the opportunities and the people I met. Like circus is my life. Yeah, with the people and the everything. Yeah, so I would just say thank you so much for being there, that it exists, and please keep going. Let's bring circus to more people. Yeah, I would say that. I think
that's a great final word.
Yeah,
Liza, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
It was a great pleasure.
Yeah, it was
all
really
the best
nice.
with not only Inside Juggling, which will come through Germany, so stay tuned. All the links to the Compagnie Hippana Maleta, to Liza's homepage, you find, as always, down on the video or also in the show notes. So go there, click there. I also can recommend Liza's Instagram, because you're really active also, like putting videos on and information on, maybe also where you can join your bike tour from Galop.
Yes, please join me for the bike.
Yeah, and then you can be supported by everyone.
Yes.
Wants it. Great.
Cool.
So that's all for now. We hear and we see us if everything goes fine in 2 weeks again. So, this was a podcast, ist echt nicht einfach, mit Liza van Brakel, Zirkusartistin. Vielen Dank fürs Zuhören, fürs Zuschauen und auch vielen Dank an alle, die ein Abo hier gelassen haben. Danke an alle Supporter, an alle Kanalmitglieder. Mein Name ist Daan. Dankeschön. Tschüss. Bye.
Tschüss.
Bis zum nächsten Mal. See you next time.